Hi everybody, it's Diane from Tattered Edge Design with a Christmas project today. I am making what I'll call a knockoff of a Tim Holtz project on his latest video, or his latest of today's the 28th of November. He made a plaque. I don't think he really gave it a word. I'm going to call it a plaque with little mini collages with, of course, his ephemera. He used his Christmas ephemera pack as the little pictures. And Diane went, that's really cool. I should do one of those. So she's doing one of those, although in her own way. He used, it was kind of like an MDF kind of pre-purchased panel from Hobby Lobby, he said. And I don't have one. I'm not running to Hobby Lobby to buy one of those. So I'm using corrugated cardboard. You know, go ahead, laugh, judge me, whatever you want. That's what I'm doing. If you want to do that, it had crossed my mind to double it up. Really, that would make it real substantial. It probably wouldn't warp over time and stuff. But I don't know. For my purposes, I thought this was okay. So it's 8 by 8, and then these little cards are just, and this is his words too. They're just a hair under 1.5 inch square, and that was so he could leave space in between. And he used one of his distress crayons to make the space in between look brown, which is another reason I chose this cardboard for the color. And I thought that was kind of cool because it looked like wood, like a shadow box. So that's another reason for this. And these are poster board, file folder, I don't know what, in my scrap bin. So that's all cut out. That's cut. And I think his stuff looks so cool to me because it was very vintage. It's his line of ephemera, which, as most of you know, is very vintage looking. So my next step was to go through my Christmas stuff and pull stuff that looks vintage. And then I got to make a bunch of little collages, which, when he was showing it and everything, okay, actually this is Tim Holtz paper right there. I'm like, that's really cool. I'm going to do that. So is it. And then when I cut out all these little papers, I'm going, wow, that's a lot. So, yeah, it kind of is. But, no, it could be fun. But yeah, if you were really going to gift it or sell it or something like that, I might run to Hobby Lobby and get one of those panels, or like I said, maybe double up the board. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the edge. You know how you can kind of see edges of cardboard? I don't know if I'm going to ignore that, try to conceal it. I don't know. So I don't know about that yet. What else don't I know? I don't know about hanging it, because really for me, I might just lean it up. I do that a lot with Christmas stuff. I just lean it, on a bookcase or something like that. So, yeah. There's a number of ways you could frame it. That would be, obviously a cost factor, but that would be easy. You could, maybe put holes in the corner and string it or wire it. It is lightweight. I don't know why you couldn't really put some sort of, those little adhesive hanger things, or, even just tape / glue, a string across the back. That probably would work too, if you really want to kind of, I don't want to say be cheap about it, but be frugal about it. How about that? All right. I'm going to pause and sift through the rest of this Christmas paper here, and then we'll pick it up. All right, I've got vintagey style papers, and I'm glad, because when after I've had these all cut out and everything, I'm thinking, I don't know, do I have a lot of vintage? I've got more cutesy. I don't know. But yeah, I do. Okay, so what he did, and what I would probably do too anyway, is make a background first. So that was his first thing. And he, just for interest, I imagine, I don't remember now if he gave a reasoning, but he was taking parts, if you will, of his ephemera packs. Instead of just covering, you know, the entire thing, he'd have like a couple, you know, 2, 3 components there. And it's like, well, that's kind of cool. So I guess that's what he did. I'll do that too. But I don't know. It's not written in stone. I don't have to do that. And as I was sifting there, I thought, actually, and I really have no desire to make another one of these, but I thought it'd be cool to make one that was all cutesy and colorful. You know, that'd be cool too. All right, and I'm not going to glue. I'm not going to make you guys watch all the gluing, but still, like, that would be one. So put that aside. I'll pick something else. And of course, him using his, you know, pack, it all kind of was vintage and matchy, and, you know, I don't really have that advantage, so to speak, because these are all different paper companies and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna do, I mean, he could kind of just pick, you know, just grab 2 things and it would be, they'd match fine, great, you know. I'm not really gonna be able to do that. That's pretty. But yeah, these are, so these aren't inchies, and they're not twinchies, they're 1.5 inchies. Alright, so that would be like, that'd be another one. Yeah, I wonder if he realized that's kind of what he was doing. I don't know, some of this stuff. Yeah, this actually isn't Christmas paper. It's fetched its farm paper. That looks Christmassy to me. But yeah, like, is that too dark? Or like, well, no, it could be interesting. Maybe that one I'll cover the whole thing. Okay. Well, this one either side would be something. I know, and I got a dog whining because one of the other dogs is outside and he thinks he should be out, but he just came in and blah blah blah. And that's how it goes around here. Well, what can we put with that though? Good question. No, that's okay. And actually part of his thing too about just kind of grabbing, and for his background stuff, a lot of it, he cut it like on the reverse side, if that makes sense. So he wasn't, you know, overthinking, was his point about, you know, what goes with what and all that. So yeah, did I already say this? I don't know. But if I think of it, I'll try to link his video there, because it's some good information there about this project and other things too. Red with that, would it be too weird? Well, I don't think it's too weird. But yeah, he used a lot of text, which I obviously, well, I've got some, but I don't have a ton of that. This one I like. I've had this paper for a long time. Alright, well, in lieu of listening to a whiny pants dog, I'll continue on here. You don't have to watch all these little cut things. And come back. Okay, I'm back. Quite a bit later. I had stuff to do, and this, you know, this took a while, and I let everything dry. But they're pretty cool. They're neat. These 3 are a little wonky, a little crooked, a lot of crooked, and I missed the corner edge there, a little crooked, but I don't care. I'm gonna, you know, conceal that, but I put them aside so I remember that. And then I've got some imagey stuff here that's scrapbook paper. I didn't dig it out yet, but I got a box of old Christmas cards, that kind of thing. Maybe use that too. I don't know. And just for the record, I did go look at that segment again from Tim Holtz just to kind of refresh my memory what his looked like. And he did not piece his backs together. He just used full sheets. But because of his, well, he wasn't really using papers. He was using his ephemera, which, if you haven't seen it, whatever, it's, you know, little signs and die cuts, and it says Merry Christmas and little things. So it sort of looks like it's pieced together, but it really wasn't. So there. Well, a little tiny. Those two together right there might be good. And I think too, I will admit, I kind of skipped around. I didn't listen to every single word he said again, but I think as he was kind of concluding that segment, Santa Claus on the back. I think they're too tall. He was saying his plaque was kind of like a substrate for him. Like you could go add three-dimensional, you know, things on top of it when it was done. So there. Which I don't really plan on doing that, but I don't know. I could. I don't have a lot of three-dimensional Christmassy stuff. Of course, maybe I should pull a background first and then get an image. That'd be smarter, Diane. Yeah. Why do something smart? What about this one? Yeah, that's okay. But I have to conceal the fact that it's crooked. That's kind of cute. Little dotted line there. Hello, I got a dog joining us here. Oh, you have a concern? I don't know. Do we have a problem? Do we have to go out? Naturally, because I started a video. Oh, he walked away. Okay. Alright, now I've got another one scratching by me. It's the dog update. Yeah, I suppose too. I could get out, you know, there's no rule. He didn't lay down any hard fast rules, you know. I could put on sequins or something like that if I wanted to. Although he did not do that, and I like the way it looks, so. Alright, that's kind of neat. I think that one's good. Alright, what about this? Actually, matches a little too perfectly. Kind of scary. It's cute, but it needs something. I did not get ribbon stuff. I should, you know, tell me, should I have? I don't know. I just didn't think I wanted shiny stuff because this is supposed to look, you know, vintagey. And of course, if you want to pop over and look at his and go, oh, yeah, his is a lot better. I wouldn't blame you. Go ahead. I think I should edge this. Or ink. I always say that. I'm sorry. Ink the edges. I always say edge it. I mean ink the edges. And this dumb dauber, I put batting over it because it was so chewed up, and I said, yeah, it works. And yeah, it does. It does. But it does not work so great if you're going to run and do this, if you're going to go over a plastic stencil, it catches on it, and these little fibers kind of come off actually, so that does not work so well. And I was thinking, well, I could cover that with, muslin, or just, some little scrappy cotton thing, fabric, but I have not tried that, and that sounded a little ridiculous, like, how much goofing around you have to do with this thing. Just buy a new one. But I haven't bought a new one. Alright, well, I think for now that's fine. Kind of like, he had a lot of, like, words, or a big, 25 or something, which actually I thought was pretty cool, and that could be even what made his neat to me. I don't know. Get the done ones out of the way here. Okay. See, he had more stuff like that. It was a little more bolder, bigger, graphic. Maybe that's a good way to say it. And yeah, when I'm done with these, am I gonna ink the edges of each little, he was calling these tiles, each little tile? I don't have an answer to that. I suppose I should. Alright, that's kind of cool. Okay, alright, let's be smart and do it the opposite way of what I was just doing. Well, this is the one, to see the top, the paper's a little short, and that's a little crooked. I actually almost was going to say forget it and just recover this, but I thought, well, come on. We can fudge it, we can fix it, but not with this. I don't like that off-white background color isn't going to look right. And I did not grab a ton of images. I didn't think I needed this many in the beginning, but maybe I did. Go over that. This one going to be a problem. Did we find out the stinker already? Number 3. What else you got in here? I got just an envelope of. I showed this in some video. I don't know what it was, but it's mostly scrapbook paper scraps. Oh, that is scrapbook paper. It's got an old Christmas tag stuck to it. Oh, poo, I don't want to ruin that. Anyway, it's just little papers that I didn't want in my big box there. They get all jammed up and lost. Okay, actually, isn't that kind of cool? It's from a thrift store. Well, that matches. Doesn't look very vintage, though. If I put that across the top, that would camouflage the little tiny piece there that you can see. Straight. Alright, let's do that. And then what? And yes, I know this is going to take a long time. I doubt I will do all these on camera. Oh, let's see, what else is in here? These are definitely vintagey. Those are off the internet. Now I don't remember where I found that. That was like years ago, 10 years ago or something. It was, you know, like somebody's blog or something. They had a link to, you know, check out these old images. And I did, and I copied some at the time, and now I have no idea who it was, where it was, whatever. Yeah, these are all kind of big. Those. Oh, I should put that in my glue book, shouldn't I? Alright, who among you are old enough to remember trees that look like that? That's a little before me. It's pretty though, isn't it? We never had that kind of tinsel. Which actually I always thought was pretty cool. Could be something. Well, I don't think I want magazine paper. It's too shiny. Too shiny. Oh, there's some old Santa Clauses there. That's kind of different. Well, what this wreath would look like on there. It is magazine paper. I just said I don't want that, but let's see. Oh, good. She's fussy cutting. I'm not saying anything very interesting either, am I? Well, how about this? It's after Black Friday, and I believe I'm kind of done Christmas shopping. I was stating when I made those tags that I really don't have gifts yet for the tags to go on. Well, now I do. Well, okay, according to the text on the back, it goes this way. Well, it's kind of cute, and it covers up all our little flaws there. Okay. Did you ever cut something out like this and you're not sure, you know, how it goes, and then there's nothing on the back? There's no text on the back or a picture or something like. I don't know which way it goes. Which I guess if you really can't tell, then it doesn't matter, right? Alright. Well, what about that on that? Let's get these out of the way. I don't have too much out of the way room here, though. Oh, that's pretty on the back, isn't it? Let's look at that. Ooh, that's pretty. This is Authentique Solitude 1 paper. That's 2018. Alright, now the berries aren't going to fit. Oh well, they're not going to fit, they're not going to fit. So, in the time I was off here, did you run to Hobby Lobby and buy one of those panels so you can make this? You probably did, just so you can, you know, say, I'm not using cardboard like you are, dork. And it crossed my mind, you know, I was saying, I thought of doubling it up, but it should be okay. You know, once I get these on, if I feel it's not okay, I can certainly glue it to another board, so it's not a big deal. Well, that's pretty. Is that good just by itself? Maybe a couple snowflakes behind there. Look at my punch. But we need off-white, so here, Mr. Glue Paper. Come out. Okay, that's cute. I mean, if I was really making, twin cheese more, something like that was its own thing, not going to be, butted up with all these other ones, I probably would do more to this, like a border or something like that. But I think I'm going to err on the side of not a lot of stuff and then put them all together. I could certainly add, but it's a little hard to take off, right? Okay, that's pretty. Okay. Oh, I dropped it. Just a minute. Okay, at least it fell glue side up. Hey, we defied one of Murphy's laws there. Okay. This one. Maybe just like a segment of this holly. Or portion. Which is proper there, I don't know. By the way, I'm not going to do any spattering on this stuff, I don't think. I did look it up because I keep saying, is it spatter or splatter? And I thought it was spatter, but it seems like most people say splatter, and I did actually look it up. Diane, you're a nerd. Technically, it is spatter. There is a word splatter, but spatter means smaller, flicky things. Splatter is bigger, things. So there. Mystery solved. And I know you were all, gee, Diane, I wish you'd look that up. Which is it? That's nice. Like I said, if it was its own thing, I would maybe run ribbon between there. I think I'll just leave. I think we'll leave this. And like I said, it could certainly add later. I don't know. It's getting a little late here. I thought I had all kinds of time. It's like we only got about 15 minutes before I got to start dinner. Okay. All right. Now this one was a little crooked too. So let's see. Yeah. Well, what about the red in between there? It's kind of... I think I want it narrower than all this red, but what's on the back of this that I'm missing out on? Yeah, when I was first kind of introduced to the scrapbook paper world, I remember kind of thinking like, well, stop putting two good patterns on the same paper, Then I don't know which to use, the front or back. Such a dilemma. All right. But what else? And that's crooked too. How many times do I have to keep layering things up because it's crooked? Well, what do you think? Could that stand by itself? Can you see my great lighting here? I would say a snowflake, but we've got snowflakes. How many snowflakes do we have to have? I don't know about this one. We're going to set that aside. Because maybe we'll have an I don't know pile. Okay, this one. Yeah, this is just all one sheet. Even though it looks like it's pieced, it's not. Well, I think that's good. But Yeah, actually, where do we want it? It could go up here, too. Or even here. Okay, maybe there, because... Oh, it is reindeer. So you can't tell what that is. It's reindeer. Well, now I don't know. Alright, what would you guys do? I guess I'm going to do that. I don't know. It's a tough call. Alright, we may add to that later. I don't know. Okay. Just barely says greetings there. Well, it does say greetings. I had to cut off seasons. Well, that's a pretty blank area there. Do this Santa. Oh, what's on the back of this I'm missing? Oh, this is the 2 tall Santas. It's pretty nice, though. This is Kaiser craft paper. Let's remember those are there. Christmas collage, I guess it's called. And this is pretty old. May Santa fill your stockings full. Maybe we'll save that. It was kind of fun. Cut this white border off. Yeah, that's pretty. That's nice. Okay. Yes, I know it hangs over. I gotta trim that when it's dry. That's nice. Okay. Well, we've got 7.5 done so far. That's pretty good. All right. What about this one? Well, looking at a couple of these. The problem is they're spaced too far apart, not to cut them out, but I know what's going to happen if I cut them out. It's going to look kind of dumb. What if I square it off? It's hard, in my opinion, it's hard to cut out snowflakes like this. If you really try to get in there, it's just impossible to make it exact on all of them, and yeah, that's okay. And there's no way I, at any rate, could make a circle around them and make it look good. And I don't have a circle punch that's that small. Alright, do we want like 2 so they look like eyeballs or something? Or have them more? Yeah, I think more like that. Okay, I could draw some white dots there with a gel pen, make it look like snow on the green. Maybe I'll try that. There is white here. This is kind of fun. Tim was saying making these little collage-y tiles was very relaxing for him. I don't know if I'd say it's relaxing, but I think it's fun. Okay. Okay. All right, moving along. This is one paper too, but can you see that? It's an angel on the left side there. So maybe that could just use a word, or may your Christmas be merry and lacking nothing. Yeah, what do they say here? Silent night. That's nice, but that's way too big. Yeah, I don't think they're going to help us. I think, yeah, this is Tim Holtz paper. It's one of those 8x8 pads. No. Nope, nope, nope. This is where that came from. Well, what if I just took Christmas? This is Kaiser Craft too, but I don't know. I have the borders are cut off. I don't know what it's called, and it's old. Yeah, you could put on fabric in that too, couldn't you? A little strip of fabric would be kind of cute. Well, I don't think this is going to work unless it's at an angle. Otherwise, you're cutting off. Well, it's not bad, but then it looks a little, you know, lost in space here. Well, where's that bag or envelope? I mean. See, I have a lot of this kind of stuff. I should make a plaque like that. There's a couple. That was, it's like a cardstock, but it is shiny. So, and the one time I don't get clear. There we go. It was Crafty Secrets. This is the same thing. I don't know that they are around or put those out anymore, but they were big-ish sheets like that that were really cute. Really, a lot of vintage images on those. Those were nice. And they had all. It wasn't strictly, you know, Christmas. They had sewing and I think children, and it's actually kind of neat. And there's a border thing. That's paper. Oh, should be another image for my glue book, maybe. Well, gee dang, we didn't know we were going to go through your envelope here. Let you sort everything. And here's another one. Well, I don't know about this one. All right, we'll put this in the I don't know pile. Maybe I'll grab one more, and then I gotta go start dinner. All right. This was off that same paper, the angel paper. It was the back. Actually, it's very pretty, in my opinion. So if you need me to tell you something's pretty. It's too big, but what if we cut around the main image? All right, let's see. I like it. Do I like it on this one though? It's okay. What else you got here? Nothing. What about that dark one? Is that better? Okay, choice A or choice B. I kind of like it on B. How many people are going, no, the other one. Could use a little piece of lace or something, couldn't it? Well, I think I'll just glue it to it, then go make dinner, and then I will come back. I guess I'll go ahead and finish these off camera, or I'm going to have, an hour and a half video. Okay, I may add to that, I don't know. It's kind of pretty. Alright, well, here, I got a bunch so far that need trimming. I don't know, this should definitely be interesting, don't you think, when they're put together? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, people, I will be back later. Okay, I just wanted to pop on before I close shop for the night and accept the Duh Award of the day. When I pulled all this stuff out before I started the first segment, I'm going, I've got Tim Holtz ephemera, Christmas ephemera, don't I? It's like, yeah. No, yeah. No, it's the right, no, yeah. And I look through my box, no. Yeah. So this is not the pack he used. And yeah, there's some stuff in here I would have used if I had found it in time, but I didn't. So I did use 25 special delivery. This piece is off the paper pad. It didn't come off the ephemera, but it is his, and this Santa Claus. So those are Tim Holtz things there. The rest are done. I used a couple postage stamps. I think all the rest is scrapbook paper. So anyway, I just wanted to pop on and, admit I'm human. And I will pick this up again tomorrow. We get to arrange how we want it on the board, okay? All right, see you then. Okay, I'm back. I did ink all the edges, which I think is better, for a vintage look. They're okay. Yeah, I could live with this, but I don't know. I think it could use something. I know I mentioned sequins, which I could try that, but that's awfully glitzy. So I did grab a few trim things that are not glitzy. Isn't that cute? Obviously that's from a thrift store, and that's the way it came. But I love that trim. Oh, I'm getting sun. Yeah, it's kind of like partly cloudy, partly sunny, and when I started this, there was no sun here. Anyway, but this stuff is, like I said, more vintagey looking, not shiny. So yeah, I think some of these could use something. So which ones? Like, maybe this. That's okay. Gray area, okay. Something. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Gray. Okay. Gray. Need something. Not sure. Not sure. Okay. Not sure. Not sure. It's hard too to know, like, to me, that's really plain. I'm not really thrilled with this one in the sun. But, do you want all of them to be really busy and a lot of stuff? I mean, don't you need a visual break kind of here and there? Yeah? You would think? I don't know. Let me get that dictionary. These are small. Yeah, like Now that could almost use something whitish, which of course I didn't grab. I do have just ribbon. Which I didn't, as I said, really want that just because of the shine factor, like the sun we're getting. Or even a little bow, would that be something? And I was thinking as I went to bed and as I got up this morning, what am I going to do with the edges of that cardboard? I don't know. I mean, really, just for me, well, that's kind of cute. I would leave it maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of tacky, isn't it? I think when these are done, I'm going to lay them on without gluing and see what we think. Yeah, that's just a little something. This is too long. And I don't have, I've got, I should pull those out. One set of wooden Christmas embellishment. Is this sun really annoying? You know what, let me glue this down. And then I will put up, I've got curtains back here, but they're like cafes, they're only half, so I have to hang up a sheet or something over. I had to make new curtains for filming purposes. So let me rig up my, oh no, the sun's on the counter sheet. Okay, just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I think this one is fine. But I was saying, I've got one set of these embellishments. The Kaiser Craft thing I bought a couple of years ago, I think. But I think they're too big at this point. Yeah. I don't know. If you put... Well, actually, that's kind of cool. I should make new ones and put some embellishments on them here and there. It's kind of neat. I should make another one and put these on. Well, okay, there's a tip. If you've got these, maybe pull them out ahead of time. What else is lurking under there? Present. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think at this point it's not going to work on mine, but it's kind of a neat idea. Actually, where did this one come from? He doesn't match. Must be has something else. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. But yeah, I don't think that's going to work now. All right, back to ribbons or something. This one definitely needs something. What about that? This is one of the ribbons I scanned because when it's gone, I'm certainly not getting more. I think it's too wide. That's kind of pretty. Okay. And yeah, I was thinking too, maybe, I mean, when I lay these down on the board there, of course there's a fold in this, maybe I want to paint it. You know, do I want it more brown? Or, which, I mean, I liked that look on Tim's because it looked like wood kind of to me. But I was thinking, or do you want it like a whitewashed, vintagey? I don't know. So we have things to think about. Okay. What about this one? Yeah, nothing's coming to my mind for this one. Maybe a bow. See, the ghosts are playing with my ribbon again. I've got them all in a shoebox, and when I go to open them, it's like they're all coming out and askew, and I don't understand that. Yeah, alright, shout out really loud. What would you guys... bow on the... Yeah, maybe bow on the wreath. Okay. If you were doing this, what kind of little embellishments would you put on? Or would you not put any on? I mean, Tim didn't, and he was, I mentioned, he was saying to use what he made as like a substrate for 3D things. So I guess his intention was not to leave it as it was, but I thought it was pretty cool the way it was. I don't like that on there now that I see it. Alright, we got a red bow for something. I don't know, this is too tricky. What about you? Well, this one I thought maybe you could just use some snow. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright. You know, I thought too, I don't know if they'll find them. I've got little, well, different sizes, but is this the right one? Yeah. Some text stuff I could grunge up. These I just printed myself. Actually, would that do something? You know, I suppose I hadn't thought of that. You know, a lot of Tim's were red. Like, you know, stuff like this. Could use red ink and print stuff out, couldn't I? Alright, what else do we think needs something? Well, that's kind of cute. I'm gonna make this a little narrower. It's cutting off that tree. Yeah, it is kind of fun though to print out your own little font things like this, because you can make them, as you know, any size. Alright. Yeah, so do you guys watch Tim's, you know, holiday videos? They're pretty awe-inspiring. I don't get into all the assemblage kind of stuff, you know, with the 3D stuff, I guess I should say, but it's pretty cool. Even a lot of the cards he shows, this is like, wow. Mine don't look like that. Alright, well that's kind of pretty. Okay, that's fine. What else do we think? Well, this one I might leave. Well, that does add. Alright, I'll put that on. And I imagine this video is getting long, right? Aren't they all? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's time well spent as far as I'm concerned, but it's amazing how long sometimes these projects take. Okay. Okay. This one needs a touch of red, actually. Greetings to the folks at home. Well, that's kind of cute. Or I could put on the corners. And maybe I'll do that. Okay. Probably just 2. We'll start with 2 at any rate. I'm pretty sure this rickrack came from a thrift store too. Oh, that's kind of nice. Maybe I'll even only one. Well, I don't know. This is why it takes so long, because Dan goes, I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah. And I still don't know what I'm going to do about trying to make it hangable. Although in my case, like I said, I'll probably just lean it. That's kind of cute. Okay. I thought this one looked like it needed something on this edge. Yeah, I think that definitely adds. But do we want off-white? No. Okay, red. But I can't find the end. That's what the ghosts are doing. They can't find the ends either. Yes, there are people walking around in my house. I tell them that's okay. It's alright. It's life. Alright. Yeah, I should probably put wax paper down or something on this book, shouldn't I? I'm gonna wind up with a gluey book cover. Alright, yeah, that's nicer. Okay. Well, him. Maybe corners again, because yeah, okay, corners fine. Actually, let's do it this way. I don't know, it's a little easier to see that you got it straight or, at the same angle. I was thinking too, you could do all kinds of different things. Some of these squares you could even just make plain and put like a pretty fabric over it. That would be kind of neat. Lots of choices there. Well, what about Merry Xmas under that? We'll cut this one. I like it, but it's too big. Or, wide, tall. Well, cut around the Y, which generally I don't like doing that. I don't like the look of that, but sometimes you don't have much choice. So, when you decorate for the holidays, assuming you do you have, you know, like art type stuff you put up too? I have a lot of cross stitch, Christmas cross stitch. Oh, that's nice. Looks better than I thought it would. But otherwise, not really art. I do have a Noel sign I painted a few years ago. I put that outside. But yeah, I guess it's mostly cross stitch. Okay, that's nice. I think that adds just enough. If the straighter, it'd be better. Okay. Well, maybe we'll leave that one. Use a bow. Well, that's kind of cute. Should we put it on this side because there's more room? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't believe that ephemera last night. Because I thought I had some, but then I didn't find it right off the bat. I'm like, well, because I do have like an everyday bag. I'm like, well, you must be thinking of that. Yeah. No. Okay. I like this trim so much. That's about all I want to use of it at one time. Okay. This one, I don't know. I mean, it's okay the way it is. It's fine. But would it look better? No, it would not. Okay. The other ones that were a gray area. It was these two. I think this one I'll leave. But yeah, maybe this one I'll just put this right across because there's just a little bit of a gap between the bee and the upper image there. You see a line. And actually that matches nicely. I think anyway. Well, tomorrow is Cyber Monday. Are we all gonna shop till we drop? Probably not. In this house anyway. Well, yeah, I mentioned I'm pretty much done. Okay, now these guys. Well, I think this one's okay with his snow. I don't know. Maybe they need Mary some more wordage there. Yeah, I guess I gotta print off another one of these. I think I saved it. Who knows? But I just typed Merry Christmas, Merry Xmas, Seasons of Greetings, Happy Holidays, you know, all over one paper. Yeah, that's okay. And actually, well, I would say it lasted a long time. But obviously depends on your your productivity level, right? Yeah. Okay. And that wreath, I don't know. It's having that much, trouble getting decorated. Should we just leave it alone? Okay. Well, I don't know. There's something about it that's bugging me. I don't know if it's just the wreath itself. See, it's a little wonky. It's, almost looks like it should be like that or something, but it wasn't. It's coming up too. I should just take it off. It doesn't want to be on there either. All right, well, I tell you what, I will clean up a little bit here and think about that and wait till these are trimmable and then come back. Okay, we're all trimmed. This is not the arrangement I would pick. I just set them up. I'm kind of leaning towards sequins. It's an okay look. I'm not sure yet, but I left them out because I kind of think I would wait until they're glued on and they're in the arrangement I want, because I don't want like two things have sequins right next, or three right next to each other, and then they don't over here, to space it out more. So I'm kind of undecided maybe, but we're gonna leave it till later. Okay, so now we're up to getting them on the board, and until I decide what I'm going to do with the edges, I am not going to put them on, because if I goof around, ruin it, I don't like it, whatever, I don't want it glued on here. Like I said, for myself, I could just leave it, who cares, but yeah, it's a little cheesy looking. So, I don't know what to do with the department. I kind of thought of covering it with paper, ribbon, something. And I thought, well, what about, this is part of a grocery bag. So that matches really well. So I think I'm going to go that route. How it's really going to adhere, like say in this area, I don't know. It might not work. I thought too, maybe I could do something, if it doesn't seem like it wants to really stick, and wrap, glue it, make it larger and wrap it to the back. I don't know. But anyway, you don't want to watch me goofing around with little papers and dumb little edgy things. But that looks nice if it would stick. So there. So I'm just popping on to tell you that. I'm going to goof with this and then come back. Well, it's been edged. Actually, I'm pleased with the edges. You cannot see, the cardboard edging anymore. What I wound up doing, I cut them to length and then made them 1.25 inches so I could wrap. I just decided that was, the least risky, if you will. But I didn't get the corners exactly right. And I kind of knew that when I was gluing it, and I admit it, I was just being lazy. I should have recut, because like I did these two edges first, and that was just, gives it just enough that it made this too short, because I cut them all exactly 8, so I should have, But I was lazy with a bit of reasoning behind it, because I'm thinking, this is okay. If you can kind of imagine this. It's okay, but it really doesn't look like wood in there, and that was kind of my thought, and Tim's was a darker brown than this. So I think I'm going to hit it with some paint, and hopefully that'll kind of cover up these corners, which I said it's kind of a method to my madness here. And this really isn't that dark either. I think it's the darkest craft brown I've got. I could, mix. And I'm intentionally thinking, is this better than solid coverage? What do we think? I don't know. Not sure. And I guess we'll do the edges. But yeah, actually, it was easy enough to glue. I glued one side, let it sit for a minute, glued the edge, glued the other side of the paper, folded it over, worked it down. And I did weight it for, I don't know, maybe an hour, not quite. I went about, I had some housework to do, so I weighted it and went around about my business there. And no, this probably isn't the best brush in the world. I probably should get a wider one, or a foam, even sponge brush would probably be. I mean, this is okay, but it's just gonna it's gonna take longer, so you can watch more. Yeah, it's kind of concealing the corners. You can still see a little bit because of the, there technically is a ridge there where it meets in that, but hopefully, once the little tile pictures are on, you won't be seeing much of it. So, okay, you guys get the idea. I'm painting it to make it look more like wood. So I'm just going to kind of do this once, give it an opinion. If I want to go over it again, or mix a new color, or I don't know what. And then I will come back. Okay, it's painted. I just did one kind of, swipey coat, and really, I think it looks pretty good. At a distance, or a glance, here, just glance, it looks like wood. Don't you think? I thought it did. So I think it's fine. So I'm going to put these on and goof around to get, let me get that dictionary again. And get an arrangement, and then finally glue them down. Yeah, this project's kind of taking a while. That's because I didn't, run to Hobby Lobby and get one of those boards, right? Tim did mention what he did was took an 8x8 piece of paper and arranged them all off his board. I'm not doing that. It's probably a good idea, I suppose, in a way. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. When all's said and done, you might not know it was just cardboard, and it was even part of a box I cut down. It's not even like purchased chipboard or anything. Yeah, talk about recycling, huh? Or upcycling, I guess. Oh, I was thinking maybe the 25 should be right in the middle. That kind of makes sense to me. And maybe the ones I'm not too wild about should be like on the corners or edges or something. Does that make sense? To anybody but me. And where am I on the camera here? Yeah, I know all of us YouTube people, I'll include me in all of us. I always say that, am I in frame? It's like we expect you people watching to, no, could you go a little to the right? All right, I like the 25 in the middle. I don't like these two close together because they're kind of similar colors. So, what are you going to do about that? This one. No. Yeah, this is going to take like 6 hours, isn't it? Yeah, no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Why don't we put that one up there? This one I think should be over just because the image is over, so I don't want it on that side. It's going to look like it's falling off. That's not bad. And I suppose, yeah, I'm no math magician. If you've got, 25 things, how many different ways is that they could possibly be? Let's just say a lot. No, I think the bird should be up more. I don't know what we're barking at in there. I think dogs are just like kids. I'm not touching you. Alright, maybe this Santa should be up because we don't want him falling off. And yeah, while we're arranging here, how am I going to adhere these? Tim used collage medium, which I think is, like Mod Podge kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. But he was adhering to wood. Does that make a big diff? I don't know. I was thinking of just gluing and then maybe going over it with Mod Podge. I don't know. I mean, originally that's what I was going to do, but now since I put ribbons and stuff on, I don't know if I want to go over with Mod Podge. I don't know. Well, what do we think? Is that okay? These two look better together. I mean, I suppose really when it comes down to it, any arrangement is okay. I think these two are too similar. Well, that's okay. You guys see any big glaring, like, well, now you've got two Santas next to each other. Anything I'm missing here? I don't know. I think that's okay. All right, I'm going to give it a final look-see, and then I guess I'm just going to use glue, and I'll probably weight it down. And whether I'm going to come back today or not, I don't know. Let's see how many days we can drag this project out. Okay, I'm going to glue and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. They're all glued on. I did use just my regular glue of choice, and then I did weight it down. I think it looks pretty cool. It does kind of look like wood. One note, if you're going to run off and do this, if you think you want to frame it, you better leave more than I did. This is like exact, well, yeah, it's exact, measure. But I mean, essentially, but as I'm sure everybody knows, frames have a little bit of a lip, so it doesn't, fall right through. So that would come in, and I mean, if it's, it'd be consistent around, that would be fine, but you're probably going to cut off this outer edge. So if you're going to frame it, be aware you're going to cut off your outer edge, or come out another like 1/4 inch. So that's that. I do think I want a Mod Podge. I mean, it's fine, but I think to make it look like a plaque which is what I was going for. I think it needs sort of like a coat on it. Oh, to get off subject a little bit, I think I failed to point out this wreath that was giving me trouble, and I paused at some point. I did just put an off-white bow on the bottom of it. Okay. And I have dogs playing in the other room, so I guess you don't really have to watch me Mod Podge, but it's just good old Mod Podge and a foam brush. And I have gone over ribbon before. It's doable, but I probably will avoid the bulky bow stuff if at all I can. I will do the edges, but not anything on the back. And then I'll probably call it a day. It's getting late. And then I want us all overnight to think about, I mean, like I said, for my purposes, I think I'm just going to lean it up, and that's fine. But, if you really wanted to string the back or something, just think about that. All right, I'm going to just, Mod Podge there. How many coats? Good question. I'm going to let it dry and see what I think. There are a lot of little divots here, so I may have to go over it more than once. It had crossed my mind too to do a finished coat of varnish over it, just so the Mod Podge isn't sticky, or I could use a spray sealer. I'm not sure about that either. I'll get that little doodad off there. Okay, I'm gonna Mod Podge and then pick it up tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day and I think I'm done. I did put a coat of varnish on it. It's yeah, I put it away. It's you know, an acrylic craft type varnish. If you can pick that up. I thought the Mod Podge might stick, and two, it was a little dull. I didn't really care for it. So there. And then, like I kept saying, I'm probably even still will lean it up somewhere as opposed to hanging it on a wall. But I thought, you know, since I'm doing this, I could maybe show you guys. Since this is cardboard, all I did was poke holes through it with an awl. And I kind of lucked out. I hadn't thought of this, but yeah, think of this if you want to do that. These two, you know, tiles, there was not much going on in the corners, so I didn't lose anything. So, I mean, like, you know, that might have looked kind of dumb, this one. So, if you're going to poke holes, you're up, you know, upper left and upper right. Try to have images where there's not much going on in the corners and you won't lose anything. But anyway, this is just baker's twine, which is not real heavy, but that was the thickest thing. I did run it through a tapestry needle and pull it through. I had a little thicker twine I liked better. It was red and off-white, but it wouldn't go through the holes. If you have a crocodile, you know, that punches bigger holes, that would be really good, but I don't have one. So anyway, so there. And I thought I'd mention, one, wouldn't this be cool for Halloween? Could do a Halloween theme. Keep that in mind for next year. You could also use wire. That might look kind of cool, you know, very prim. I'm shadowing there, shading. So that's an idea. If you don't like the knot look there, or the string, you know, you want it just this, you could, yeah, I signed the back. I have done this. Take some sort of string and kind of make it a little wavy and glue it heavily. That actually works on something like that. You could also put tape, once the glue is dry, put tape over it just to be kind of extra sure. But this I thought looked pretty nice. And I will leave you with, I'll show it hanging on the wall, see what it looks like that way. So thanks to Mr. Holtz for this idea, and thanks for everyone who joined me through this. I think it turned out pretty nice. Okay, have a nice day out there. Okay, there we are, hanging on the wall. This is just my room back here. I just took a picture off the wall to hang it. I know it's pretty nice. You could dress it up if you wanted, put little bows, you know, at the corners, you know, like here and the other corner. Or, you know, a bow at the top, at the nail. Okay, people, there it is. Thanks again.